at that moment, like our lives would be taken from someone. So this is my today's topic, and today I will start this topic I will start with an incident. There is a plaza in front of my home, so I went over there to drop off my daughter for her tutoring class. After dropping her, when I was coming back, I saw three persons they were standing beside a car, and there was one person who was drunk, and he was trying to stand up by holding his car's driving seat. And at that time I got sense like he's a drunk person. I approached the car and I asked the driver, "Are you drunk?" He didn't reply. Then I said, like, if you are drunk, I can see you as like you are drunk. If you drive your car, I will call the police. Even I warned him. Then he said, okay. At that time his car was stopped. Then he turned off his car, and I said him again, I have noted your car license number plate. So if you drive, I will call the police, and I will tell you everything about you. Then he said, okay, I'm not going to drive. But there were three persons. Two were teenagers and one was young, like about the age of 35 or 40. And at that time I didn't have my phone with me, but I was saying like I will call the police. Then another person like 34, 40 years old, that person, he had a phone in his hand, and he was saying like, okay, we suggested him, the drunk person, not to drive. We are advising him, but he's not going to listen. I'm sure he will drive. Then I said, like, you have a phone in your hand, then why you are not going to call the police, or you ask him to call a taxi? Then he didn't give any response. I ran back to my home, pick up my phone. Within 2 minutes I was there on that spot. When I reached there, as soon as I reached there, I saw there was no car, no driver, and there was no one. So I called the police. I told whole story and gave the license plate number. I did this because that was my responsibility at that time. I felt that it's my responsibility to pull out of that kind of drivers out from the roads, because of that persons or that kind of persons, someone can lose their life, and that could be someone's mother, father, kids, husband, wife. They have some precious kind of values in someone's life. So that was my responsibility. But I was thinking at that time, I was thinking the person like who I said, like, think about the teenager. They are teenagers, they don't have that kind of sense. But the full-grown person, he had the responsibility to call the police at that time, but he didn't do. But if I don't know what happened to that person, but if he met someone an accident, that could be his own son, that could be my son, and in future it could be, if someone drive like that, it could be my daughter, someone's favorite someone. So make sure when you have see something like that, then you call the police, and don't hesitate. Don't try to ignore someone, because as a Canadian citizen, as a human being, this is our responsibility to drag these kind of drivers out of the road. Thank you.